What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Phoenix, and today we're going to be diving back into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. No, not reacting to trailers. Unfortunately, Spider-Man Home trailer, please come out. Or No Way Home, sorry. No Way Home, please come out. And Venom 2, also, please come out at some point, maybe, hopefully. Thanks. We're not going to be ranking Marvel movies, no. This time we're going to be looking at Phase 4, pretty much everything that's been announced, and putting it into three categories. After Loki introduced the multiverse to us, we're going to be looking at kind of where each of these next projects are going to lie. Either A, in the main MCU timeline, or the Infinity Saga timeline, the different branch timeline. So the show is going to be contained in its own branch, but it's going to be a different branch from the main MCU timeline. And the third category is multiple timelines. So the show or movie is going to cover each episode or a series of episodes or whatever are going to be each contained in their own timeline, but multiple timelines in the show, if that makes any sense. It will once we kind of get more into it, but let's get into it. All right, so here we have the list, kind of the three different categories in addition to all of the Phase 4 films and TV shows and stuff that have come out already. So Quantumania, Blade, Black Panther, Guardians Holiday Special, Shang-Chi, She-Hulk, Eternals, Hawkeye, Guardians 3, Armor Wars, What If, Loki 2, which was announced in the post-credit scene of the last episode of the first series of Loki, Moon Knight, Thor Love and Thunder, Secret Invasion, Fantastic Four, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, Miss Marvel, and then another Miss Marvel, which is actually supposed to be The Marvels. So there's two different properties showing up, Miss Marvel and The Marvels. So those are different things. We'll get to that when we get there. But Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. We're starting off a little bit tough here because I feel like this is going to be main MCU timeline. However, we're going to get multiple timelines in this show, if that makes sense. I feel like we're going to be timeline hopping in this show, or the film, sorry. And I feel like that's going to be the thing, is I feel like we're going to start off in the main MCU timeline and then branch off into multiple timelines with Kang kind of at the helm of that, and Ant-Man and the Wasp chasing after him in this different scenario. Blade, I think, is going to be... I think it's going to be main MCU timeline. I think it's going to be main MCU timeline. We don't really know a whole lot about Blade and what this movie is going to be in the MCU, but I think main MCU is fine for now. Black Panther 2, I think this is going to be this one I'm torn. It might be different branch timeline, just so they add an easier way to explain why T'Challa is in this. Because, or they could just straight, I don't know. They didn't really set up, they definitely set up the end of Black Panther 1 as he's going to be the ruler, but now with Chadwick Boseman's untimely death and all that, I'm going to put this in branch timeline just for that aspect. Just for that. It's going to be a different MCU timeline that Shuri or somebody else is going to be the Black Panther in. Guardians Holiday Special, I think this is pretty much confirmed to be a different branch timeline. I don't think it's not going to be canon with the rest of the MCU. I don't think. Shang-Chi is going to be main MCU timeline. I think because it's going to introduce more of the magical aspect of things. I think it's going to be main MCU timeline. She-Hulk, I'm going to put in a branch timeline. I think it's going to be a little bit different situation. I don't think she's going to be Bruce Banner's, what was it? His cousin, I believe? Something like that. I don't think this is going to be main MCU timeline. Eternals, I want to put it in multiple timelines. I want them to do a multiple timeline show, or a movie with this, excuse me. But I think it's going to be main MCU timeline because it's going to establish significant people in the MCU and stuff like that. Hawkeye, I think, is pretty much confirmed to be main MCU because the post-credit scene from Black Widow, if you remember, was Yelena talking to Val, or Val coming up to Yelena at Natasha's grave and giving her the job of killing Clint Barton. So I think it's going to be main MCU. Guardians 3, I think is also going to be main MCU. I think this is going to pick up from where Volume 2 left off. really. I mean, not. No, I think this is sorry. I think this is going to pick up with the end of Endgame. I think this is going to pick up in the post-credit scene with Thor as well. Actually, I don't know. When does Guardians 3 come out in relation to Thor? The Guardians 3 comes out May 23rd, 2023, and Thor 4 comes out May. Okay, so this is going to pick up probably right after Thor leaves them. So I think this is both. I think these are going to come one right after another. So I think Guardians 3 is going to be set right when Thor leaves to go do whatever he's going to do in Love and Thunder. Armor Wars, I think, is going to be a different universe. I think it's going to be what if Tony Stark's weaponry got into the wrong hands, and I think that's what's going to be on that, starring Rhodey. Yeah, what if is going to be multiple timelines for sure. Same with Loki 2. Both of these shows are going to be episodic timelines, if that makes sense. I think each Loki might not be episodic timelines. What if has been confirmed to be multiple timelines in the same universe as our main saga, but not the same timeline. If that makes sense. I don't know. I'm confused myself with some of these. To be really honest with you guys. Moon Knight, I want to be main MCU. I love the character of Moon Knight. I really hope that they don't mess him up. I think his whole thing is going to be super cool. Secret Invasion, I think, is going to be. We'll put it in different branch timeline. Because I think this is going to be a kind of split in. I don't know when we're going to see a split at some point. Maybe during Eternals, maybe a little bit later, where the rest of the MCU is going to go one way, and then the Kree and Skrull and the Skrull invasion is going to go a different way in the same segment, but they're going to branch off, and Skrulls are going to be one side, and then the rest of the MCU is going to go to the other. Fantastic Four, I think, has to be main MCU timeline. Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness pretty much confirmed to be multiple timelines. Also, just realized we don't have Spider-Man No Way Home in this. Spider-Man No Way Home is also, we'll just throw it in editing right there. It's going to be multiple timelines. So Miss Marvel, we'll do Miss Marvel, the Kamala Khan version, the TV show, I believe is what that is. That's going to be, we'll say, a different branch timeline where she is Miss Marvel in that timeline. There's no Captain Marvel, it's just Miss Marvel in that timeline. But then the Marvels, I know this is different, change it in editing. This right here is going to be the main MCU. This is going to be the Marvels, and that's going to be a main MCU timeline following Miss Marvel somehow connecting to the main MCU timeline and getting over to the main and meeting Captain Marvel, and that's what that's going to be. But that's just my prediction. As you see, most of it's going to continue on the main timeline with a couple of stuff in different branch timelines and then a couple kind of overarching TV shows, mainly, besides Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Overbranching and showing you what these things would look like in different universes. But that's going to do it for me. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Let me know down in the comments where you think these show, where you think these are going to, what timeline stuff they're going to be in. Also, if you're new, please subscribe down below. In addition to ringing the bell so you're notified the next time I upload. And again, if you'd like the content, please hit that like button down below. But for now, take care. Peace.